Now, technically, I like Nintendo and a lot of Nintendo products. Of course, during in well, I got pictures here, so I'll just show those. But, anyways, back when Nintendo started, of course, the ever so forgetful Nintendo 64, I was not happy. Of course, I went out and bought a Saturn, and if all of you haven't started rolling up your eyes or calling me an idiot, technically I was. NES, I had the original Game Boy too, and who didn't? But, well, let's face it, it became a lot of things. And, not forgetting these two, but, I have to honestly say Nintendo has grown in a lot of areas. And the Wii, technically, in my honest opinion, is not fully there, but it's pretty well there. But it's a pretty good machine. The only thing I never was happy with was the Wiimote because I think the Wiimote was good for basic games and basic stuff, and I never liked the original Nintendo DS. I never did. As much as I didn't like watching, as much as I hated both the Nintendo 64 and the Nintendo GameCube. Yes, I hated both of these. Mainly because the Nintendo 64, even though it truly was for 64-bit, the game cartridges, as you can see right there, didn't really pack up a very high amount of memory, and of course, they weren't really, most of the games weren't really 64-bit, or at least until later on when they could pack more memory into those things. And the GameCube just didn't really interest me. Yeah, they had CDs, but those things were tiny. You know, you could almost break them. But my only problem with the Wiimote is, well, I don't think Nintendo should have had that as their basic remote. But I mean, well, I should just say remote. I mean, I don't think they should have had that as their main controller and then hook up other controllers into it. I think Nintendo overshot themselves and pretty much shot themselves in the foot. But I also knew that the Wii was going to sell. Not because of its controller or any of its innovations, but mostly because it was lower price and cheaper. And let's face it, who wants to buy an overpriced PS3? Yeah, junk, garbage. Yeah. Or, an overheated 360. Yeah, very crap. But still, you gotta give it Nintendo. And of course, I got the Black Edition. If you haven't seen my past videos, you would have seen that I have a Black Edition DSi, which I love very much because they finally put some stuff in there that I was very happy with over that PS3. Which was utter trash. The PSP was, how can I say this nicely? Crap! Yeah. But, yeah, the Nintendo DSi was really great. Of course, now they want to go like the iPad, and I'm not joking, people, supersize it. Yep, that's a bigger PSP. I mean, Nintendo DSi. Yeah. Of course, they're not making it as big as the iPod, but still, why the hell are everybody so excited about expanding hardware? You got Apple making an oversized iPad Touch, and now you got Nintendo making, of course, now selling a oversized Nintendo DSi called the Nintendo DSi XL. I'm not joking, people. That you can look it up on Wikipedia. It's called the Nintendo DSi XL. Well, whatever. I think it's pointless, and that's why I'm not going to get a Nintendo DSi XL. But I will say one thing. Nintendo's finally giving people a controller that they can truly like. Yeah. The new Classic Controller Pro. And I have to say, Nintendo finally from what I've heard, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of these. And I don't know, it's coming out on the 20th, but I think maybe I should just order on eBay. But it's going to be coming with Monster Hunter 3 since it's black, and I do have a black Wiimote as well as a black nunchuck. But yeah, either I don't know. Should I wait until eBay to get this? I mean, should I get it on eBay or just wait until Monster Hunter 3 comes out? My only problem with that is that Monster Hunter 3 I just don't care much for, but I do want the black controller, or at least just one of them. Then I'll just get the normal white one. But yeah, it's finally good to see Nintendo finally coming out with a decent controller. I don't know. Maybe until Wii 2, which will probably be called something else because Nintendo never really named anything 1 or 2. They'll probably just call it Super Wii. But I don't know. Maybe they should make more controllers like this. But that's just my opinion. You can disagree with it however you want. Even though I'm more shocked that Samuel Tech Geek was more interested in a larger DSi than he was a Wii Classic Controller Pro. You know, a complete reshaping of the Classic Controller. I mean, what's the deal here, dude? A larger size DSi? It's really just nothing more than a large, just like it's the larger size the iPod Touch. Whatever. But yeah, they just supersized them. That's all they're doing with their products. But what do you think?